It started as a mental health campaign, so bringing all of that positivity into tobacco prevention. There's a lot of negativity around tobacco prevention. Don't do this, don't do that, it's bad, it's this, it's that. But we felt an interest among youth to want to work in tobacco prevention, but want to do it in a fun way, positive way.
She asked us if we would do something for their anti-tobacco campaign, and we kind of cringed a little bit.
Because we're not really the type that are anti-anything. Our studio is called Oboe Studios. It's our beautiful obsession, and it's our obsessions over beautiful things and how we express that creatively. So after speaking with Jenna and really going through that, we got to understand more about the Love My Life campaign.
At that, we thought, that we can do. We love our life, and we can help other people love their life. So it kind of went from there, but it still had the anti-tobacco twist to it.
And it just seemed more youth-oriented, where you're telling them about what's spectacular about their life instead of telling them about what they can't do.
And the idea of that is that, you know, basically if teens are able to express themselves creatively and have a sense of themselves, then it'd be easier for them in the long run to resist the types of pressures that might come upon them to, you know, engage in tobacco or, you know, drugs or alcohol or whatever the case may be. So we started with having them list like 10 words that describe their personality, their characteristics that they, you know, really thought made them who they are. And they took those words and turned them into symbols to represent each word. So it was kind of taking like a concrete, you know, very specific word, but turning it into an abstract symbol. Then they montaged all those symbols together to create one larger symbol, which we started calling their tattoo, their personal tattoo.
So these beautiful symbols that represented them, made them part of this little wonderful tribe, and that was the spirit component. The next component was the body itself, and that's the lungs.
Well, I think we kind of scared them off the first day with a little bit much. Whatever material you choose is up to you. How they're constructed is up to you. What color they are is up to you. And that's going to be your kind of expression of your healthy living.
And what a wonderful flipping of, instead of saying anti-tobacco, you're saying, how healthy are my lungs?
Once they got engaged and kind of had their idea and saw how their idea could be developed from just a word to a symbol to a theme to a set of lungs to an entire body, you know, it was a very like small building block kind of process for them. This was a huge like mixed media piece. I mean, we had no expectations, we had no plans for them. Like basically whatever they wanted to do, we were prepared to help them with it.
We needed all these crazy components, but it was great to have it just laid out everywhere in the studio, and it was like a treasure hunt, because you turn around one corner and you could see all these wonderful things you could use that you didn't think of using in your projects.
So the lungs, I mean, you can just see from the end product the variety of materials that they came up with to use. I mean, you know, one girl started with a pair of like tied detergent bottles as the lungs and covered them with buttons, and you know, others built their lungs out of paper mache. Some of them were twining together pieces of twigs and rope and things like that. I mean, you know, whatever they had in their mind, we were, you know, hopefully going to be able to help them execute that. And I think in the end, they all sort of came out the way that they envisioned.
So the kids really had a good sense of what it's like to work in a studio, to have the materials at their disposal, and to not be shy to say, I really got this funky idea. I would really like to incorporate this in the piece.
From what I see right now, I'm so excited to get to know all the thoughts and work that went into everything and how it became what it is.
We were really looking forward to seeing what their reaction would be to see their work that they've, you know, it was months in progress, and to see it all hung in a studio setting, properly lit, you know, the ambiance was there. It's such a great thing for them to experience. I mean, you know, Tracy and I both said we've never, you know, if we had had that experience as a kid, it would be something like just completely memorable. You would never ever forget that.
There was a lot of positive feedback from parents, from community members who were dropping in, from Board of Health members. It was truly impressive. And in terms of the youth, I think that they were really proud of the work that they did, and I think they were impressed also to see that others were interested in what they had to say.
The like lightning bolt thing in the background would represent deviance, but not in a bad way. It's challenging the way people think I'm kind of an open-minded person, so it's kind of like opening and then closing into like a little swirl, which kind of represents like my cheerfulness too. Put a little box to symbolize my shyness, but then put branches out.
My piece revolves all around music.
And I like colorful stuff, so then I like to use a lot of colors and then buttons because I like to push buttons and I push people's buttons.
And the other half is from a story that I wrote because I'm also really into writing.
It's basically recycling, like with all the pop cans and the shredded pieces of paper and the water bottles.
I'm really into DIY things, so I made all the flowers individually out of recycled material.
I really love animals, so I wanted to do something that incorporated different animals in nature.
The broken chain just symbolizes you escaping from these binds and flying away.
So this tartan represents Highland dancing.
Well, to me, like tobacco, it's basically like junk, I guess, and it's like stuff that would make your life like disgusting, like and make it really, just bad. And I think it's like the same thing with pollution on Earth and all that.
A lot of teens are pressured by some people and just an overall negative community to smoke and to make some bad decisions.
I think it's important that we take care of ourselves and that we don't harm ourselves and that we lean towards nature rather than tobacco use and other unhealthy products.
Tobacco, for the most part, kind of prevents you from doing a lot of things that you really just like living a healthy lifestyle, doing what you want to do.
Dancing takes hard work, and I don't think it would be as fun if I didn't have the greater lung capacity.
Tobacco-free means living healthy, and to me, health is just seen as flowers and life and growth, and everything positive is just growing and thriving. You have to preserve a garden and keep it beautiful, and I think that smoking could definitely ruin that.